our population is shrinking. So I will be inviting people in from the outside.
Suddenly Amish faces authenticity backlash as viewers split over reality TV intent. TLC's Suddenly Amish debuted with a captivating premise. 6 non-Amish individuals were removed from their modern lifestyles.
In the Amish world, we abstain from electricity, we abstain from cars.
We don't wear makeup or jewelry.
We work the fields, we go to church.
And placed into what the series describes as a traditional Amish community. Marketed as a cultural immersion experiment, the show promised to explore the emotional, social, and spiritual impacts of abandoning technology, convenience, and individualism in favor of simplicity, discipline, and faith. From the outset, Suddenly Amish sparked conversation. Some viewers were intrigued by the contrast between the modern participants and Amish customs, while others quickly questioned the authenticity of the experience. As the season progressed, these doubts intensified, leading to widespread online debate regarding authenticity, production manipulation, and the ethical responsibilities of reality television in portraying a deeply private religious culture. This divide has resulted in a sharply split audience. On one side are critics who contend that this series misrepresents Amish life and relies on staged storytelling. On the other side are viewers who acknowledge the show's flaws yet continue to watch for its entertainment value, character dynamics, and emotional narratives. This polarization has made Suddenly Amish one of TLC's more contentious offerings recently, a high-concept experiment with immediate appeal. At its core, Suddenly Amish follows a familiar reality TV formula: take participants from vastly different backgrounds, strip away their comforts, and observe how they adapt under pressure. The novelty lies in its setting. The Amish culture, characterized by its separation from modern technology and its emphasis on community, humility, and faith, has long intrigued mainstream audiences. TLC positioned the series as an immersive social experiment rather than a competition. The cast members are not eliminated or rewarded with a cash prize. Instead, the stated goal is personal transformation through exposure to a radically different way of life. Initial promotional material highlighted themes of self-reflection, cultural humility, and emotional growth. Viewers were encouraged to perceive the show as an opportunity to learn about Amish values while witnessing participants confront their assumptions about happiness, success, and identity. However, almost immediately, questions arose regarding whether the show's portrayal aligned with reality. Authenticity concerns dominate early viewer reactions. The most persistent criticism of Suddenly Amish centers around authenticity. Many viewers, particularly those with prior knowledge of Amish communities, expressed skepticism about whether the environment depicted on screen genuinely reflects old-fashioned Amish life. Old Order Amish groups are known for their strict adherence to religious doctrine, limited engagement with outsiders, and firm restrictions on technology and media exposure. These communities are also deeply private, rarely permitting filming or prolonged interaction with non-Amish individuals. Consequently, viewers questioned how a reality television crew could gain the level of access portrayed in the series. Online discussions quickly focused on the Amish individuals featured as guides or hosts. Some fans speculated that these figures might belong to more progressive or loosely affiliated Amish or Anabaptist groups rather than traditional Old Order communities. Others suggested that some individuals could be former Amish members or members of related sects with more relaxed rules. The ambiguity in the show's portrayal of the specific community has stoked suspicion. Critics argue that by failing to clarify these distinctions, Suddenly Amish creates a misleading impression of Amish life as a whole, blurring important differences between conservative religious communities and those that permit greater engagement with the modern world. Representation versus reality. The presentation of Amish values on screen adds another layer to the authenticity debate. Viewers have noted that the series often simplifies complex religious beliefs into easily digestible talking points tailored for a mainstream audience. Faith, obedience, humility, and community are frequently discussed, but rarely explored in depth. Instead, these concepts are often framed through the emotional reactions of the non-Amish participants, rather than through a sustained examination of Amish theology or social structure. For some critics, this approach feels superficial. They argue that Amish life is not merely about rejecting technology or wearing plain clothing, but encompasses a deeply integrated belief system that governs every aspect of daily life. By primarily focusing on culture shock and personal discomfort, the show risks reducing a complex religious tradition to a series of lifestyle challenges. Supporters argue that the show never aimed to be a documentary. They assert that Suddenly Amish is a reality television series designed for broad appeal, rather than an academic study of Anabaptist history. This tension between education and entertainment lies at the heart of much of the controversy. Reality TV theatrics and production manipulation. Beyond concerns regarding cultural accuracy, many viewers have expressed dissatisfaction with the show's production style. Critics contend that Suddenly Amish heavily relies on familiar reality TV tropes, which undermine its professed aim of authentic immersion. Elements such as confessional interviews, emotional music cues, dramatic pauses, and heavily edited confrontations contribute to a sense that the storylines are being crafted for maximum impact rather than developing organically. Several scenes have been highlighted by viewers as feeling particularly staged. Conflicts often arise abruptly, escalate rapidly, and resolve in ways that seem convenient for episodic storytelling. Emotional breakthroughs typically coincide with episode climaxes, thereby reinforcing the perception of manufactured narrative arcs. For some viewers, this production style contradicts the core values associated with Amish life, which emphasize modesty, restraint, and communal harmony. The disparity between the show's polished production and the simplicity it purports to depict has become a recurring point of criticism. The ethical question of cultural experimentation. As the season progressed, discussion shifted from authenticity to ethical considerations. Some critics questioned whether it was appropriate to use a deeply religious and insular culture as the backdrop for a reality TV experiment. The Amish have historically been subjects of fascination, misunderstanding, and exploitation in popular media. From dramatized films to sensational news stories, these portrayals often prioritize novelty over nuance. For viewers sensitive to this history, Suddenly Amish raises concerns about whether the show perpetuates stereotypes or commodifies religious life for entertainment. These critics argue that even if participants approach the experience with respect, the format itself encourages viewers to perceive Amish culture as an obstacle course for personal growth rather than as a valid way of life in its own right. Conversely, some defend the series, asserting that cultural exchange, when handled thoughtfully, can foster understanding and empathy. They argue that the participants' struggles and reflections may inspire viewers to reconsider their relationships with technology, consumerism, and community. Once again, the tension between intent and execution emerges as a central point of debate. Social media activity sparks further skepticism. One of the most damaging aspects affecting the show's credibility has been the social media activity of certain cast members and individuals presented as Amish hosts. Viewers have quickly noted that some of these figures maintain active online presences during the show's broadcast. Their posts, comments, and promotional appearances have raised eyebrows, particularly in light of the Amish tradition of avoiding modern technology. For many fans, this contradiction reinforces suspicions that the boundaries portrayed on screen are selectively enforced or exaggerated for dramatic effect. While it is conceivable that these individuals belong to less restrictive communities or hold unique roles within their society, the absence of a clear explanation has left room for doubt. This situation underscores a broader challenge for reality television: the difficulty of maintaining the illusion of authenticity in an era where cast members are readily accessible online. In the case of Suddenly Amish, such accessibility has undermined the immersive fantasy that the show aims to create. Viewers are experiencing fatigue with social experiment reality TV. Another factor influencing audience reactions is the growing fatigue with reality TV social experiments. Over the past decade, viewers have become increasingly aware of production manipulation, editing techniques, and staged drama. As a consequence, audiences are more likely to scrutinize shows that purport to offer genuine transformations or cultural insights. Suddenly, Amish entered this environment with a premise that naturally invited skepticism. For some viewers, the notion that participants could authentically experience Amish life within the confines of a television production appears fundamentally flawed. This skepticism does not necessarily deter people from watching, however, it does affect their engagement with the show. Many viewers now approach Suddenly Amish with a detached perspective, perceiving it as entertainment rather than a true representation of reality. The appeal of character-driven storytelling. Despite the surrounding controversy, Suddenly Amish has managed to maintain a loyal audience. For many viewers, the show's strengths lie not in its cultural accuracy, but in its character development. Audiences accustomed to the storytelling conventions of reality television find resonance in the participants' emotional journeys, interpersonal conflicts, and moments of vulnerability. Watching individuals confront discomfort, question their values, and forge unexpected connections remains compelling, even when the setting appears to be curated. Some viewers openly acknowledge the perceived artificiality of the show while still choosing to tune in. For this audience, the program functions more like a character-driven drama, loosely inspired by Amish culture than a faithful representation of it. This perspective enables viewers to enjoy the series without feeling compelled to invest in its claims of authenticity. Divided expectations shape the conversation. The intense debate surrounding Suddenly Amish highlights the differing expectations among viewers. Those who seek an educational or documentary-style exploration of Amish life are more likely to feel disappointed or misled. In contrast, viewers who approach the show as standard reality television tend to be more forgiving of its shortcomings. This divide is particularly evident across social media platforms, where discussions often devolve into arguments about what the show should represent. Some fans accuse critics of taking the series too seriously, while critics contend that the show's marketing invites scrutiny by presenting itself as an immersive cultural experience. TLC's branding plays a significant role in this dynamic. By framing the series as an experiment rather than pure entertainment, the network implicitly encourages viewers to assess its realism. TLC's track record with cultural reality programming. TLC has a long history of producing reality shows that focus on cultural, religious, or lifestyle differences. From large families and strict belief systems to unconventional living arrangements, the network often navigates a delicate balance between exploration and sensationalism. Suddenly Amish fits neatly within this tradition. Previous series have faced similar criticisms, with audiences questioning whether editing and casting decisions distort reality for the sake of drama. In this regard, the controversy surrounding Suddenly Amish is not an isolated incident, but rather part of a broader trend within unscripted television. The unique sensitivity of the depicted culture distinguishes Suddenly Amish. Amish communities are particularly cautious about media exposure, which amplifies viewer concerns regarding representation and consent. Spoiler insight: the influence of controversy on the season. As the season progresses, the controversy itself becomes an integral part of the viewing experience. Audiences are not only engaged with the narrative content of scenes, but are also on the lookout for clues that reveal what is genuine and what may have been fabricated. Moments of emotional breakthroughs frequently evoke skepticism. Scenes that demonstrate strict adherence to Amish customs are examined for consistency, while interactions with Amish hosts are scrutinized for authenticity. This heightened awareness transforms the way viewers engage with the show. Rather than passively absorbing the narrative, they actively interrogate it, comparing the events depicted on screen with their understanding of Amish life. In this manner, the controversy enhances viewer engagement, even as it compromises trust. The long-term impact on the series. Whether Suddenly Amish will be remembered as a bold experiment or a flawed portrayal is still uncertain. The outcome largely depends on the season's conclusion and the extent to which the show addresses viewer concerns. Should the series continue to favor emotional storytelling without providing clarity on its cultural framework, skepticism is likely to endure. On the other hand, increased transparency regarding the community depicted and the limitations of the experiment might help to reshape audience expectations. In any case, The ongoing debate surrounding Suddenly Amish underscores a growing tension within reality television. Audiences seek both authenticity and entertainment, but are increasingly resistant to shows that blur the lines without proper acknowledgement. Conclusion: a polarizing reality experiment. Suddenly Amish serves as a case study in the controversies surrounding modern reality television. Its intriguing premise initially attracted viewers, yet questions regarding authenticity, production manipulation, and cultural representation quickly complicated the narrative. For some viewers, the show appears misleading, offering a curated portrayal of Amish life shaped by the conventions of reality television. Conversely, others find it to be entertaining, providing emotional journeys and interpersonal drama, regardless of its adherence to realism. This divide has not stifled conversation surrounding the series. Rather, it has intensified engagement, establishing Suddenly Amish as one of TLC's most talked-about programs of the season. As audiences persist in debating the show's intent and execution, the series highlights an enduring truth about reality television: perception holds as much significance as content.